Okay, I'm going to take time to move on to our next prepared speech. If you could just finish up or get back to the evaluation later. We have a second prepared speech coming from Swarupa today. It's going to be an introduction speech today. So she's doing the visionary communication pathway. So we'll hear a little bit about Swarupa's story, how she got here, and get an intro, learn a little bit more about Swarupa.
Thank you, Lorenzo. A very good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin with my speech, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a software engineer and I work in a big data at scale team. We provide Edgebase as a service. So what that essentially means is if you find a mentioned feature on Chatter is not working properly, you can totally blame it on me. Apart from being a coder, I also like to hike in the woods. I also like to meditate like Mark. I sometimes read lots of novels, and I also like to write some posts for my blog. So how many of you think that we have something in common? Right? Wow, quite a large number. Let me tell you guys a story. A little anecdote from my childhood. When I was in 6th grade, I was the most mischievous, notorious, and very talkative girls in the class. And being talkative actually got me into a punishment. And do you want to know what the punishment was? I was punished to forcibly participate into a speech competition. And I was sad, but excited about it. Sad because it was a punishment, and excited because I love to talk. I told my mom that I'm participating in this competition. Being a high school teacher, she was quite proud and excited about me. She helped me draft my first speech. I prepared it quite well. It kind of became a routine to, rehearse in front of the audience or the guests who used to visit us at that time, just to imagine how would it feel like. And finally, the D-Day arrived. I was fully prepared, a little nervous, and I think a little confident. I went up to the stage when my name was called. And looking into the audience, there were about 30 to 40 people, a few familiar faces. And quite nervously, I delivered my first line. And the audience applauded. My confidence, suddenly I felt it was boosted. But I was still struggling with what to do with my hands. I decided I should keep them too close to my body, and unknowingly I started to play with the button of my shirt like this. It worked out well. I was comfortable, speech was going fine, audience was nodding. It worked out well. And in the middle of the speech, I realized that the button had fallen off from my shirt. And I looked down on the floor looking for my button, and then suddenly I realized I've stopped in between my speech. I've forgotten my speech. I'm looking down on the floor and looking at the audience, back to the floor, and it's half a minute of time and I'm not saying anything. And the host walked up to me, took me back off the stage, and audience was still okay. They were still applauding for the speech, although I had messed up. And that's how, my friends, I was first introduced to the word stage consciousness. That day I realized it is very easy to be part of a crowd, but what takes the most courage is to lead the crowd. From 7th standard to 10th standard, I willingly participated into many speech competitions, worked on my stage courage, grabbed few prizes for my school, and it was going well. After many years, when I joined corporate culture through an internship, I came to know about Toastmasters because my buddy / mentor at that time was a quite sincere participant in the club. And I came to know about the club. It was quite good, but then it was being in the nascent stage of my career. I quite forgot about it and focused myself on into technical skills. Fast forward to early this year when I joined Salesforce after completing my master's from UC Irvine. I realized that it is very common to focus on your technical skills, but they can only take you to a certain stage of your career. but effective communication and leadership skills can go a long way. So here I am presenting my first icebreaker speech. By being part of this club, I look forward to achieving two main goals. Number one, to effectively share feedback, and number two, to eloquently articulate my thoughts. And remember, in the beginning I said, if we have anything in common, thanks to my recent addiction of solving 1,000 pieces of puzzle, I realized that just like many discerning yet similar pieces of the puzzle, we are all different yet same, looking forward to achieving something bigger and bigger than us. Thank you.